What's up, everyone? It's Saturday, October 8th, 2022.
And it is 12:27 in the afternoon.
And it is currently 10 degrees Celsius, which is 50 Fahrenheit.
Yep, and we're going to be walking through Greektown today in Toronto along Danforth Avenue. I'm joined here by the Ken Continuum and also Johnny Strides. They both live here in Toronto and have their own YouTube channels exploring Toronto and the greater region. But where are we right now?
Broadview
Here
Station.
on Broadview Avenue, just north of Danforth. And as Ken said, right in front of Broadview Station, which is the terminus of a couple of streetcar lines. One of them rolling into the station right now, the 505. So this is your first time east of downtown on this trip to Toronto.
It's the first time for me to explore east of the downtown area. And I grew up in a neighborhood called Astoria, Queens in New York City. Basically, that's like the Greek town of New York City. It's the highest amount of people of Greek ethnicity who live outside of Athens. So I'm curious how this so-called Greek town compares to where I grew up.
I like that he said so-called, as if he doesn't quite believe us.
It has to prove itself.
Yeah, it has to prove itself first.
Well, this first stretch is not Greektown. It's called the Plater Estates.
Okay.
And this Burger King used to be a McDonald's. Always find that interesting. It was a very busy, popular McDonald's, and then one day it just closed, and the next day it was a Burger King. But Greektown starts when we get to Chester officially,
All right.
which will be coming up pretty soon.
I can already tell, like, in this east side of Toronto, there's a lot less of these high-rise buildings and more, you know,
Here's
what
my
you would
dentist.
consider- Oh, Don Valley Dental Care.
Well, the city has recently made a motion to actually protect a lot of these low-rise buildings and give them heritage status, which I don't think makes a lot of sense. They don't look particularly grand or worth preserving. And it's worth noting there is a subway just north of here. So we're on like a subway corridor, and it's mostly surrounded by single family, like detached houses. So it's not very even like mid-rise density level. It's mostly low-rise density. So yeah, you're not going to see a lot of condos along this stretch, which is very different from pretty much everywhere else in Toronto.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's a little bakery,
Cobb's Bread,
Cobb's Bread.
that's a chain. You'll find that all over the city.
German, rye, apricot
And
delight.
across the street is a popular concert venue, the Danforth Music Hall.
Billy Bragg.
Remy Wolf, Nurse Blake. And it's not uncommon before a show to see a lineup go all the way to Broadview Avenue and then well down Broadview Avenue.
The building certainly looks a bit dated.
It's pretty nice inside.
And there's a really cool arcade bar across the street called Z80. Their sister bar, Tilt Arcade, recently burnt down on Dundas.
Oh, this is how they clean the bike lane.
They have those in New York.
I rarely see it stuff like that in New York.
That's why Toronto looks so litter-free all the time.
Oh, look at that. This store features our largest collection of products from Greece. So maybe we're heading into Greektown now before Chester.
It's like a little teaser.
A teaser, yeah.
Yeah.
This restaurant's really good, Factory Girl.
And there's Cops Records across the street.
Uh-huh. KOPS. Look at all the different wines they have. Actually, this is vodka.
Ah, the sun's coming out. Going to warm things up a bit.
A very well-behaved Doberman. And this bike lane here goes all the way to the former borough of Scarborough at Victoria Park. They
It's a
went
pretty
in.
good distance.
It was quite controversial in the area because there used to be 2 lanes of traffic. And they chopped that down and they put in protected bike lanes over the pandemic. And a lot of businesses and the NIMBYs in the area were up in arms about it. But I think it's been hugely beneficial to the neighborhood and the city as a whole, or as a whole.
There's a cute little municipal parking lot.
Right for development.
You don't see too many of those on major streets in the city anymore. And you can see a sign that says "Welcome to Greektown" coming up over top Danforth Avenue.
Yeah. It's a little bit further.
I wonder if there'll be anyone sitting in the patios. It might be a bit too cold. Because normally Greektown is full of patios and it's pretty active in the warm weather.
Okay. Danforth Church.
And aside from the restaurants, this really isn't a destination neighborhood. So it can get a bit sleepy if you're here like during a weekday.
I wonder how it is over the holiday weekend because Monday is the Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I haven't taken a look at what's open and what's closed on Monday. Have you, Ken?
I haven't.
I know that the Eaton Center is open because it's considered in a tourist area, so it will stay open.
But Yorkdale will be closed.
Yeah.
I wonder if Chinatown, all those places will be open.
Chinatown typically is the one place that never closes.
That's what's typical in New York too. The Chinatown there, they rarely close for major holidays.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's the sign. Welcome to Greektown.
And what's weird is there's another sign I think that says "Welcome to Greektown" in the middle of Greektown.
Yeah.
Oh yeah? Maybe they want to really make it sure.
And then there's the one that says "Thanks for visiting." Is that the same one on the other side?
It might be, yeah. We'll have to.
This is kind of neat.
There's another one of these little plazas just up ahead that often has a band playing some live music and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's Sir Alexander the Great Parquet, right? That's sort of like the heart of Greektown. It's a little ways up ahead, though.
So this will be Chester Avenue, and there's a subway station just north of here. All the subway stations are on the north side of Danforth because they didn't tunnel the subway system. They did a cut and cover, so they basically built a large trench. And then they built the subway, and then they put a lid on it. And there's a stretch of parks and parking lots over where the subway is to the north of here. So when they built that, a lot of people would have lost their home. Here's Astoria Restaurant.
Astoria Restaurant, that's where I'm from. Astoria, Queens. Oh, that's too funny. Welcome to Greektown, and maybe welcome to my home neighborhood in New York City.
And I think this place, Becker's Bridals, was featured in My Big Fat Greek Wedding, if I'm not mistaken.
I wonder what Astoria serves. You know, Astoria is named after John Jacob Astor, who used to be the richest person in the world. Yeah, this certainly looks like a Greek town now.
There's a place called Pantheon. We've got Megas on the left.
I think I may have to eat at Astoria. It'd be funny.
I like this place, Louis Cypher. They've got a Thai PA craft beer that is quite excellent.
Tea shop.
Lots of gelato places along here.
I see that. Kali Via, Taste of Our Village.
Messini across the street.
Tim Hortons, I haven't seen that before.
And on this corner here used to be a really popular place that didn't survive the pandemic restrictions. And I think their neighbor is actually moving into this spot. And that place across the street, Messini, has the best value meal in the city. There's a pork gyros pita that's like $6.99, and it is huge.
Oh my gosh.
It will fill you up, and it's so cheap.
And these are all along the sidewalk through the neighborhood. Famous Greek mythological figures.
Oh, I didn't even see this.
Although they're kind of getting worn away now.
Yeah, this is supposed to be Artemis,
Yeah.
the archer.
And what's the proper pronunciation of Gyros?
I say euro.
Yeah,
but
that's
some people say gyro.
Yeah.
Euros, I think.
I know Kramer on Seinfeld says gyros.
Yeah,
I think he's wrong.
I heard gyro, euro.
But that would be my choice to get a meal if I were coming here. Mostly because I'm cheap, but also because it's delicious. Oh, there's a new banh mi restaurant. Me banh mi
grand
bar.
opening.
So I think it's this place here, Mez's, which might be the most popular Greektown restaurant that's moving into that corner spot. It can be tough to get a table in this place sometimes.
It looks like they have a lot of outdoor seating too.
Well, there was a long period during the pandemic where indoor dining was banned.
Oh,
and
wow.
even outdoor dining, for some reason, was also banned. Try to figure that one
As
out.
ridiculous as that was, yeah.
So the only way these restaurants could get by were sidewalk patios. I remember eating out here in the middle of winter next to these wimpy little heaters.
Yeah.
I like the paint on the street here.
This used to be a massive Tim Hortons,
The push pounds.
but I think there were a lot of people kind of loitering and hanging out there all day. In fact, that was most of the people at that Tim Hortons. So they moved to that smaller location we just walked by. And this place here, Alexandros Takeout, is excellent. They have a location down on Queens Quay. And I remember my walk around going to that location in one of his videos.
And this is the Alexander the Great parquet.
And here's Zeus.
So you
And
seemed a bit
statue.
disappointed in Little Italy. What do you think of Greektown?
I'm really impressed with Greektown. I find that it still has a lot of these Greek stores and restaurants.
Well, by disappointed, I meant you didn't quite get the feeling that you were in an Italian-themed neighborhood.
Yeah, that's what I meant too. Like, I kind of felt like there wasn't too much Italian culture left in Little Italy. But Greektown, I can see that it's still here for the most part. The friendly Greek. In some ways, I feel like this even has a higher concentration of dense Greek restaurants than where I'm from in Astoria, Queens. Well, here's a Filipino restaurant.
I think the days of these patios being utilized are finished for this year. It's just a
Yeah.
bit too chilly to be outside.
Yep.
If we were here a few months ago, even at this hour, they all would have had people on them.
And
This
like
place gets my vote for very disappointing Greek food, this Atlantis Restaurant.
Sounds like you've been dining here a lot, Johnny, in Greektown.
A fair bit.
And this is really busy in the summer on a Friday or Saturday night.
Let
Lots
me
of
check out their
families.
menu. Let's see why you've been so disappointed.
Can't even see who this is here.
I think it's funny he
Lunch
said
menu.
that while that couple was going.
Oh.
I mean, it's okay, but for what you pay, I just feel like
Yeah.
there's better values to be had. I'm all about the value when I eat out.
I mean, they seem to have this traditional Greek dishes that I'm familiar with. Souvlakis, moussaka, gyros.
There's the Popeyes that I frequent on my live streams
The Greek
when I'm in this
Popeyes.
area.
Oh, we got the Greek flag on the lampposts.
And the street signs are in Greek also.
I saw that.
There's either something very wrong with that Corvette or it's doing exactly what they wanted it to.
Yeah, probably the latter.
Yep.
This place, Rivals Sports Pub, always perplexes me. I never see anyone in there.
Let's see if there's anyone in there now.
This place is
Nope.
new. Taps, that used to be a St. Louis wings. I was in there. It's pretty good.
Well, it's kind of nice to see non-chain restaurants filling up spaces that used to be a chain restaurant.
A rare victory.
Yeah.
You know what I haven't really seen too much of are Greek bakeries and pastry shops and grocery
We've walked by a
stores.
few. And I think there's a market coming up on the left.
Maybe I didn't really see the bakeries as I passed by too much. Japanese restaurant.
And an Italian restaurant right after that.
Bagel time Montreal style.
Bagels are pretty big in New York, aren't they?
They are. And I know Montreal, they have a big bagel scene too.
I don't really think we're a bagel town.
Well, that's a shame.
We had a couple of kind of well-known bagel places, but I think one of them went under, right? Griff's. I remember Griff's being a big deal.
Here's the classic church just up on the left.
Definitely a very impressive looking church.
It looks very Greek to me.
Yeah.
It's a Greek Orthodox church.
The
Holy name. Just as there's a big impressive Polish church in Roncesvalles. There's a food market on the right.
Hate market. Not really sure if it's a Greek specific grocery store.
Where we're coming up is Cape Avenue, and there's a subway station just north of there. And it will, I don't want to say soon, but in about, what, 10 to 12 years, it will be a major interchange, as the Ontario line will have a stop right at Pape here. And there's already proposals for high-rises going on.
I saw like a 50-story building.
And people are up in arms. How
Yeah,
dare
my
you
goodness.
intensify on transit corridors? Like,
Yeah.
in a city with a housing crisis that needs more housing. Like, what? Yeah, we should have more medium density housing, but we shouldn't be saying no to housing. Like, it's going to replace the building that, well, the Home Hardware is coming down, I think, straight ahead to make way for the subway station. Where Circle K is used to be a Nando's chicken. They went under during the pandemic. But several blocks north of here, there's an area called Pate Village that's really neat.
Yeah, that's in East York.
Okay.
It's one of the main shopping strips in East York.
Oh, here's the welcome to Greektown sign again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it.
This one's actually a better one for a photo op than the other one because it was all covered with trees.
But you'll find things from here on out will get less and less Greek until we get to Jones Avenue.
Ooh, Thanksgiving weekend special. Roast turkey with soup, mashed potatoes, vegetables, and pie. $26.
Well, I think I know what ActionKid is doing on Thanksgiving.
See, this home hardware is going to be expropriated to
Oh.
make way for the new subway station. This place is really popular. Sugarcane. It's like a Caribbean and Cajun restaurant.
Video game center.
And
I
this,
see less of those now.
That looks like a relic from another era.
and this Athens Restaurant and Tavern is always blasting music in the evening. Every time I ride my bike through here, I get an earful of Greek music. And there's a bakery and pastry shop right next to it.
Oh yeah. Vlad Bakery and Pastry. So there's a bakery.
Right next to a cannabis retailer.
Tokyo Smoke.
And there's a Gabby's.
And here's another one right here.
Here's another one. Acropolis.
Oh, here you got your pastry shops now.
Greek yogurt and rice pudding. Ooh.
Ticking all the boxes right on this little block.
And every retail strip in Toronto will have a Gabby's. No matter.
I don't
which
know
one
who
it
goes
is.
there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's good.
I think I'm stopping by Greektown later today for some food. You might hear it on ActionKid Extra how they are.
Here's another
Eaton Avenue.
retailer. And we're about to walk by a rare sight, a former Pizza up here on the left, that I'm pretty sure has been featured in a few World Star hip hop videos, however you say that. And in your video, when you were walking along King Street with Ken, you walked right by an old Pizza, and Ken talked about, or ActionKid was like, this pizza store doesn't belong. And you were questioning how long it had been there. That used to be a Pizza.
That was a Pizza?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And it turned into like a more generic pizza restaurant.
Oh, weird.
I think it's just catering to like the after 2 a.m. I'm drunk crowd.
Right.
But this one, I was really surprised to see this Pizza go.
Oh, I remember you talking about Four Brothers.
Oh.
Four Brothers
Yeah.
Pizza, yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Oh, just a flock of people.
I know. I wonder if it's a tour group going to Greektown.
A little bit too long, like it's good, but if you want to do
And this is Woodycrest Avenue. It's a
Papa
one-way street.
John's.
There's
Speaking
a
of
Greek
pizza.
meat market over there.
This is a pretty safe jaywalk situation. It's a one-way street. Mr. Greek Meat Market.
There's
What?
the Greek grocery store I was looking for.
Sad.
Oh, there's the
Here's
thank
the-
you for visiting sign.
Yep. So this is the edge of Greektown.
Right at Jones Avenue. And there's a really popular like burger restaurant called Square Boy just beyond it. I can't walk by that place on a live stream without people like pointing out, Square Boy, Square
Yeah.
Boy.
Everyone gets excited when they see it. I've never been there.
I have, but I strangely have no memory of how it was.
Right.
I'm not really a foodie.
Neither am I. Here's
So,
Apollo.
Should we expect to see more Greek places after the thank you for visiting
It
sign?
thins out. Then eventually we're going to be entering sort of a transitionary area. And then the area around Greenwood is known as Little Ethiopia, unofficially.
There's a New York license plate.
Oh.
But you can tell it's a bit of an older area.
I'm seeing that.
There's no like university campus nearby injecting it with younger
Right.
people. Property values are still very expensive. And actually, you're right on the subway line. Eventually, you'll be on 2 subway lines. Like, I would say this is a pretty desirable part of town to live. You've got everything here. It's kind of lacking in like a major grocery store. That would be the one thing I would say. Like, there's a Loblaws at
Broadview.
and there's supermarkets in Pate Village. But I can't think of any like big ones.
I think there's a Value Mart, right? But further up.
Oh, we
Further
should
up
have
that way.
kept an eye out for Casey from the YouTube channel Camera Conspiracies.
Oh yeah.
He is always recording on Danforth in his videos. And I was actually sitting at Louis Cypher once and he walked by and I was like, hey, Casey! And he looked and waved.
Oh, wow.
I was like, he might just think I'm some crazy fan, but
Free range turkey at Maselli Supermarket. This basil looks like it's not good anymore, all wilting.
it's the secret plaza. Yeah, this area is just like a kind of a little slice of Toronto, a mix of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of feels like an older part of Toronto over here.
Yeah, there's even a mosque coming up on the right. It's
Here's
very-
Turkish food, galata.
I find Middle Eastern food and Greek food kind of go hand in hand. A lot of like the wraps.
They are, yeah.
A lot of shared culture. Yeah.
Donair Point. I don't know if they're coming or going. This place here, the only cafe, is connected to a bar that is quite excellent. You can actually enter the cafe from the bar.
The beer bar right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have a big patio in the back. You definitely get some hipster vibes,
Yeah.
but it's an excellent place. That's how I was so familiar with that pizza. I would often come here.
Oh, okay.
And we would walk back that way and grab some pie.
Dim sum restaurant.
Looks busy too.
Yeah.
All day dim sum. Can you call it all day when you close at 9 and 10 p.m. and you're not even open on Monday? City fried chicken and pizza. So there's a subway station just north of here, Donlands Station.
Oh yeah, I see it. Right over there.
We're at 32 minutes.
Where are we wrapping up this video?
It's up to you. We can keep going east because he's gonna pick up.
Okay.
Ken Continuum's gonna pick up, so
Maybe we'll walk down to the next block or two
it's up to you.
and then wrap it up.
Let's get away from this sewage smell here on this
Yeah, we
corner.
should.
So this is the middle of 3 videos.
Yeah.
Whoa. Good driving.
Really good drivers here. So after this video is over, Mr. Ken Continuum here is going to pick up and we'll be walking around this part of East Toronto.
Yeah, now we're moving into an area called the Danny. According to the
Danforth
street
Village,
signs.
the Danny. I think the Danny might be the BIA name.
Yeah.
Indo-Canadian bakery. That's interesting.
There's a lot of bakeries here. Here's another one. Moodza Bakery.
I would say the next few blocks, it kind of dries up a bit, but then it picks up. And you start to see a lot more like retail activity.
Here's Pakistani and Indian now.
Holy chicken.
Not to be confused with Holy Chuck.
Holy Chuck was good.
He was at Yonge and St. Clair, and I was like, if I were you, I would go to Popeyes. And I was like, what am I doing? He's visiting. What's good here?
Right?
Like, I just default to Popeyes if there's a Popeyes in the neighborhood. And I was like, you got to go to Holy Chuck.
Yeah. Burger's Priest is another place that gets a lot of, or used to get a lot of hype.
I think that one, turning into like the franchise model, really hit the quality.
Yeah.
This is a long walk.
Rudy has kept it up. That's an excellent place. I think Rudy and Holy Chuck are kind of battling for the best burger.
I think we've wandered into like a little Middle Eastern
Yeah.
town.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of these areas don't have formal designations, and some do. Like Greektown is a formal designation, Chinatown, but Little Manila isn't. Little Jamaica isn't. Little Ethiopia isn't.
Right. Little Bangladesh further east isn't either.
But Little India just to the south is.
You know what's kind of funny? Where I am in Astoria, Queens, it's the Greek town there. And then within Greektown, there's a Little Egypt. So it's like a Middle East here also.
Right?
You kind of wonder, maybe it's a coincidence.
Just like
or
Little
not.
Manila is in the middle of the Orthodox Jewish neighborhood on Bathurst.
Uh-huh.
Maybe we should go to like the next subway station,
Yeah, we should.
and then
Where is the next subway station?
not too far,
Okay.
we'll be at Greenwood. Hey, I just broke 10,000 steps.
Nice.
Right at
Right.
1 p.m. It's all ones and zeros.
I actually don't really look at my step counter.
Well, the other day in Niagara Falls, we both broke like 30,000 steps. And the next day we drove back together. I'm like, today is like an editing day. I'm not gonna go outside. This guy's out making videos, doing a 2.5-hour live stream.
Right?
He's not human.
Yeah.
Like, I
Well-
consider myself as having like above average walking stamina. I don't know how you would say that. But he is like next level.
He showed me his step count on the day when we did our collab, and it was like 45,000 or something like that.
It's like, you know, most people like aim for 10,000 on an amazing day. 45,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I felt it because I got a traditional Chinese massage the other day and it was so painful. And normally those aren't supposed to be painful, but when you're really tired and your muscles are really sore, you feel everything.
Whenever I have a super big day like that, I usually do like an e-scooter video or e-bike video the next day, or a live stream that way.
I'll do that too.
Kind of take it easy. No, you don't. You go out and you do another 30,000 steps. But when you are on vacation and traveling, you do get that second wind a little better.
That's true.
Like, I find when I'm visiting another city, I can just walk all day, every day. I guess the stimulation of it kind of...
The novelty of being in a new place. Yeah.
The wing machine.
And here's where we start to see lots of Ethiopian restaurants.
Yep.
Huh.
And
This
dive
one-
bars.
Although that one is
Look
not
inviting.
currently operating.
Like actual dive bars, not hipster bars masquerading as dive bars.
Places that you might be, you know, putting yourself at risk to to go in.
I like this store. They're just to the point. The store is operated by sovereign people on sovereign land. Oh, I don't think that is subject to the same regulations as everyone else. So this is Greenwood Avenue, but I think the actual subway station is a block
Oh, really?
east of here.
Let's go over to the left and take a look. Yeah, I don't see anything that looks like a subway
And
station
there's an old
here.
theater, the Allenby. They briefly had a run of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and now it's a Circle K. And Greenwood has a bike lane. It's an excellent north-south route. Greenwood and Woodbine. Jones Avenue has one.
You know this A&W? I've seen them in the States, but only as a root beer brand. I've never seen it as a restaurant.
There are burger restaurants called A&W in the States, but it's a totally different concept. In Canada, they have the burger family. There's like the Mama Burger and the Papa Burger. I went to an A&W in Bali and I was kind of disappointed. It wasn't the same as ours. I know what you're thinking. Why are you going to an A&W in Bali?
This is good.
Tommy's Grill and Bar. Tell me these aren't dive bars, like proper dive bars.
Yeah, some of these places can be a little bit stabby.
North Pole Bakery. Hey!
Where's Paul? Go get something to eat.
Pizza of the day, 2 for $5.
No, they have these pizza, the Danishes there. You'll see them.
Oh, he's
They're
visiting
$2
from New York.
They're
He's
$2,
Oh, wow.
they're $2 each,
That looks good.
and they're really, really good.
a Danish for $2.
Yeah, they're really, really good. There's cherry and apple.
Awesome.
The apple's really good. Fresh apple.
Should we do it?
Maybe later.
Well, we did just eat. Good, friendly guy. Central Toronto Wrestling.
I guess I'm gonna have to rename this video now from Greektown to Greektown and Little Ethiopia.
I would just say Greektown and Danforth.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Is that a hookah lounge? There's some really hipstery places coming up. It's kind of become a cool little pocket like Ossington, just straight ahead.
Yeah, this kind of is giving me Ossington Avenue vibes.
There's a bar called Mom's Basement that is really like retro themed. There's an excellent restaurant called The Wren coming up. Blue Nile, Ethiopian cuisine. A couple of Thai restaurants.
Oh, look at that. Modern Thai kitchen and then Red Chili. Although Red Chili looks like it's locked and closed for good. This is an old school tailor shop.
Yeah. It's the original, that's why.
Yeah.
The Dillon Bar.
Yeah, I don't know why they would call that the Greenwood subway station when you gotta walk all the way over here.
Probably because it's the most major intersection. If they called it Linsmore, no one's gonna know that. But the area, the little stretch just after this is pretty great. So I guess we'll have to tune into Ken's video to see
Yep.
that.
We'll have to see
And if you want
that.
to see the best part of the video, you know, the long expanse over a bridge, that would be the first video.
Yeah, no one will want to watch anything else after that.
Just rewatch that one 3
They've
times.
seen everything they need to see.
But here is Greenwood Station.
I guess we'll end it at Greenwood Station here.
Danger, no entry. So this would normally be a bus loop that goes around the station, but clearly
Yeah, they're doing construction
they're
here.
reconfiguring that.
All right. Well, that will do it for this walk along Danforth Avenue. I want to thank my guests, Johnny Strides and the Ken Continuum, for joining me and providing their knowledge. Go check out their YouTube channels. They're great. Hit the like button, subscribe, and
We will continue, all three of us.
Simultaneously in different directions.